Hello everyone, and welcome to another Random Bits and Pieces from my brain. And today we're in October of 1992, and we are going to continue our playthrough in this alternate universe for the Ottawa Senators and see if we can lead them to glory. So we're still kind of in between the preseason and the season, so off screen I selected my roster. So this is the team that's going to be starting the season against the Montreal Canadiens. Again, I'm not gonna go through every single player that's out there, but this is what the team is going to be looking like. Very similar to the team that started against the Montreal Canadiens in real life, but there's a few differences as well. So we still have Laurie Boschman as my captain, and Norm McIver and Jamie Baker as my assistants. And then I've put a few players on the trading block. That's why it says TB next to Ken Ammon, Dave Archibald, and Thomas Jelinek. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get some offers. Typically, with expansion teams in the past, with Vegas, it wasn't exactly how that happened, but with a lot of the previous expansion teams, there's a lot of movement with the players, lots of trades and everything. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can kind of replicate that. So let's go ahead and advance here. The first game is on the 8th, I believe. Yes, on the 8th against Montreal. As we know in real life, the Sens actually won that game. And the goal here is to do better than the Sens did in real life. So in 1992-1993, Ottawa went 10-70-4. Back then there were still ties for 24 points. So the goal here is to try to get above 24 points. It's going to be challenging, but I think it's doable. So let's go ahead and see what happens. So the first game we play is going to be at home against Montreal, and then we go on a pretty long road trip for most of the rest of the month, really. Alright, so I'm getting a scouting report. Again, I'm not going through that all that much in a historical game. I pretty much know who is who. Alright, so the preview for the 1992-1993 season. Alright. So LA is a Stanley Cup favorite. I think that's kind of accurate. I think that LA was pretty strong back then with Gretzky, obviously, and they did make it to the final that year. So, and then Pittsburgh and Detroit is also contenders. Okay, and then the New York Rangers might be a dark horse. Scoring race will be between Steve Yzerman, Mark Messier, and Mario Lemieux. Maybe, I mean, there might be a surprise there. Then Ray Borg, Chelios, and Scott Stevens should be looked at. Andy and Patrick Roy, Ed Belfour, and Dominic Hasek to keep an eye on in net. So kind of give us a little bit of a preview, a little bit of a nostalgia there to see all of those names. None of those guys still play, so I'm going to delete that and continue to advance the... Alright, so there's some games that have been played. Oh, so Theo Fleury got injured in Calgary, but he's only day-to-day. So that's okay, I guess. He might still be able to play. Wayne Gretzky played in his 1000th game in a tie. Kirk Muller got his 600th point in a win against Hartford. Oh, and then new to in this version of the game, there's suspensions. Sadly, I've read on the forums that maybe they're jacked up a little too high, but we'll go ahead and see. So we have two suspensions here. John Druce of the Winnipeg Jets got suspended, and he's going to miss 3 games. Doesn't look like they say what he's suspended for an incident in last night's game. What did he do? Did he check to the head? Did he give somebody the finger? I don't know. All right. And Ray Shepard is suspended for a game, and again, they don't say why. So, all right. So Ray Shepard and John Drews are our first offenders in our league as far as being suspended. All right. So tomorrow is our game against Montreal. So they're 1-0. They won their game against Hartford. A night to remember for Doug Gilmour. 4 assists for Gilmour. A pretty good start to the season. 5-2 win. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and play against Montreal. Let's see what happens. So those are our lines and this is our lineup for the game. Keep in mind, I'm only the GM. I don't decide on the lines or tactics or anything like that. That's Rick Bonus' job. So it looks like he's going to use Larionov that I signed to a pretty lucrative contract. He's going to use him on the second line. So we're going to go with Laurie Boschman on the first line with Turgeon and Jodial. Larionov is going to play with the other guy that I signed, Jonas Bergquist and Jeff Lazaro on our second line. Jamie Baker with Jelinek and Lonnie Loach on the third line. And finally, Mark Lamb is going to play with Mike Paluzzo and Dave Archibald. So then on defense, obviously we have McIver on the first pair with Bradshaw, Darren Rumble, and Gord Deneen play together, and then Ken Hammond and Chris Luongo are on the third pair. So Brad Metter is not playing this game. All right, let's go. Let's see if we manage to steal the game like the Sens did in real life. And no, not even close. It's a 7-2 loss. We also allowed 54 shots on goal, so not exactly the franchise opener that we wanted there. So 7-2 trouncing to the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal was not seen as a favorite that year. They had an average team, but with Patrick Roy in net, they won like 5 million games in overtime in the playoffs or something like that, and they ended up winning the cup. But yeah, okay, so definitely we'll need to play better defense. Those shots are horrible, and we weren't very disciplined either. Alright, so let's take a look at who scored for us. The scoring happened in the third period only for us. So Jodiel scored on the power play, unassisted. And then Mark Lamb on the power play as well, assisted by Bradshaw and Jonas Bergquist. So, yeah. 2 power play goals. I guess the power play's going. That's something, I suppose. Alright, so Scrudland, a goal and 2 assists. John Leclerc, a goal and an assist. Todd Ewan, a goal. Are the 3 stars. Oh, that starts really great. So we are going to be without Igor Larionov for 4 weeks. I just signed the guy to a good contract, and he's going to be gone for a month. Alright. First setback. So we're going to go ahead and... oh, looks like Mark Lamb is hurt as well. Wow. Montreal just destroyed us on the scoreboard and in the lineup. Right, so he's out for about 4 weeks. What about Mark Lamb? We didn't get an email for that. Minor injury. Okay, he's day-to-day, so I'm not going to put him on the injured reserve, but I will put Larionov on the injury list. And I am going to recall a center. So I think I go here. Yes. Okay, it's been a little while since I've played, so. Okay, so I want a center. I think I want Neil Brady or Rob Murphy. Let's see. Pointless in 2 games so far. He has an assist. Let's get Neil Brady. Definitely the superior player. He's got a point. Alright, so... and he's probably going to play too because because of Mark Lamb's injury. All right. Yes, I've checked everything. All right, memorable night for Adam Oates. 4-assist game in a 5-2 win against Hartford. Ray Shepherd back from his 1-game suspension. And Jaromir Jagr has a great game. 4 goals and an assist in an 8-5 win against the Islanders. Yeah, Pittsburgh is going to be really strong for quite a few years, probably, unless they do stupid stuff with trades or that they get plagued with injuries. But they should be really, really good. I mean, they have a 20-year-old Jaromir Jagr to start this playthrough, so yeah, they're going to be pretty good for a while. Unless, like I said, they do something stupid. Alright, next game is going to be in Quebec City against the Nordiques. Let's see what's here. Nothing too crazy going on. So, Quebec lost their first game, apparently. So they are as equally as bad as us. 1-0. I don't expect that to last, but... Alright, let's play in Quebec City. So with the injuries and everything, Dave Archibald gets a promotion on the second line. And... yeah, looks like Jamie Baker is being benched for some reason. So that's interesting. And we're going with the same D setup as we went in the first game. So let's go ahead and play against the Nordiques. So they have Ron Extall in net. If you were a Nordiques fan, you remember that first round series against Montreal where we won the first 2 games and then we managed to lose the last 4. Ron Extall might not have been at his best during that series, and he was... after every goal against, he would rush at the referees to scream. That was a little embarrassing. Alright, so let's go ahead and see here if we can get our first win against the Quebec Nordiques. And no. So after losing 7-2, we got rocked even worse with a 8-2 loss. So we can see Quebec City got 56 shots on goal, so allowing 50 plus shots on goal on a constant basis is definitely not going to lead to a lot of success. So we kind of need to get that fixed, and we only got 17 shots of our own, so definitely not a great game. Mike Huff first star with a goal and an assist. Scott Young 3 assists. Joe Sakic 2 goals and an assist. And let's see who scored for us. So Norm McIver, our first even strength goal of the season, assisted by Bradshaw and Dave Archibald. Oh, nope. Well, that was still true. That was still our first even strength goal, but I missed Gord Deneed's goal here, shorthanded from Bergquist and Jody Hall. So, first shorthanded goal. So we have scored in all situations, but we're still not looking too great. Holmgren angry at local media over Hartford coverage. So. Paul Holmgren, the coach, said something. Alright, so this is a news story, so it doesn't really do all that much. But Hartford is 0-3 to start the season, so apparently the press wasn't very nice to them. Bob Kudelski has a great game. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go and trade for him in real life. The Suns got him, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pull that off. So, 3-goal game, hat-trick for Bob Kudelski. That's good. Jaromir Jagr, 4 more goals. Didn't he get like 4 goals in his first game? Yep, he's up to 8 goals. And he scored all the goals for Pittsburgh. It's a 4-4 tie against Montreal. Okay, Stéphane Richer. Okay, so apparently Stefano Richer did something in a game, but he's not getting suspended. And here we have our scouting reports. If you're playing like real life, or if you're starting with 2019 league and everything, it's very useful to use the scouting reports. But like I said, I know the history of the players so much that it's not that useful in historical for me. Oh dear Lord, what happened there? We're hurt. Alright, so Lazaro is day-to-day. I guess that's why Jamie Baker didn't play. Broken nose, day-to-day. We already know that Lamb is day-to-day. Alright, so they're all day-to-day, and let's continue and see if one of them comes back and is able to play, or else I'm going to need to recall somebody. So Dave McElwain in Toronto got suspended for 4 games. Again, we don't know what he did. No, I'm going to need to make some decisions. Alright, so for... Alright, I'm gonna put Lazaro on the end. I have to put people on the injured reserve, and I guess Marklam. Keep in mind, I have no idea who's going to be coming back the fastest. So we're going to go back here and recall more people. We're going to get Darcy Lowen and Rob Murphy. So, yeah. Game in Boston. Probably going to be pretty tough. Yeah, Rob Murphy and Darcy Lowen entered the lineup, obviously, because of the injuries. And, we're using Brad Miller in that game. So, let's see. So, Daniel Bertium still in net, facing Andy Moog. And we lost 7-4, so we put a little bit more of a fight there, but the defense continues to be a struggle. Alright, yes, I know I have all of those injuries, and Dave Reed has an allergic reaction for Boston. So they used to show the injuries prior to the game, and I liked that better. I wish that was still like that. Now we see the injuries after the game. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. So, alright, so we did allow a lot less shots on goal, and Boston's a pretty good team, so that's slightly encouraging, I guess. I don't know if Brad Miller helped with that, but we took a 3-0 lead in that game too. So we had Gordonine, Sylvain Turgeon, and Norm McIver, all 5-on-5. They all scored goals, but then the Bruins opened the machine. And then our captain on the power play got our 4th goal, but alright, so are we going to get a win in October? Let's see, Adam Oates had 3 goals and 2 assists, and it was against us, so I forgot to check the 3 stars of that game. He probably was the first star. Alright, well, we don't have 5 more injuries, so I guess there are some silver linings. Okay, John Drew served his suspension, and I have to assign a number to Darcy Lowen. Alright. You are getting number 20. There you go. He's upset. Poor guy. Next game at Hartford. Yari Curry produced 500 goals, obviously in his career, not in one game. He had a hat trick, 3 goals in that game. 8-7 game, wow. We don't see those scores very often in 2019, but in the 90s, those were a little bit more common. Prolific passing night for Wayne Gretzky, a goal and 4 assists. Yeah, okay, that's the second message about Yari Curry, because he also had that milestone. Then Luc Robitaille with LA with 2 goals and 4 assists, so the top guns for LA really produced in that game. Alright, so our depleted squad is going to drop in Hartford, and let's see if we can win this. So still going with Brad Miller there. So our star player, Norm McIver, 2 goals and no assists, and minus 11 in 3 games. Wow. That ought to be close to a record. Alright, so we can feel good about ourselves. We're slightly less mediocre than Hartford. They're 0-4, we're 0-3. Of course, if we lose that game, then Hartford has a win, and we still don't have one. So let's see if we can get our first win in Hartford. That would be awesome. Oh! Not only did we win, we really won 8-3. That's pretty good. Of course, Andrew Castles, Mark Jensen, and Eric Weinrich for Hartford are hurt. So that's wow. Rob Murphy, our star, with a hat trick. Sylvain Turgeon a goal and 3 assists, and Darren Rumble with a goal. Jody Elmer Murphy, Norm McIver, a couple assists there. We look pretty good. What about the shots? So we still allowed a really high number of shots, 43 to our 20. So really their goaltender was really not up to par, or their defense, or both. So we scored 8 goals on 20 shots. That's not going to happen very often. Tim Kerr extends his goal streak to 5. So Tim Kerr scored in 5 straight games with a goal in the trouncing against us. And Rob Murphy keeps fans on their feet all night because he had that hat trick, as we saw. So he's only a 1-star player, but hey, take the glory where you can. Mark Lamb recovered already. Cal Lundale reports that Mark Lamb is possibly ready to start playing again. Alright, so I tend to wait until players are fully healed before sending them back. I don't want to have them get hurt any further. So that's what we're going to do here. Alright, so Jamie Baker, Bergquist still hurt. Next game is at Washington. Strong game for Vyacheslav Kozlov with Detroit. He had a hat trick, 3 goals. Dave Ellett suspended for 5 games, and we don't know why. Jeff Lazaro getting closer to returning. Let's take a look here. So we're near the bottom. Of course, we beat Hartford, so we have more points than them, but we also have the same amount of points as the Islanders and the Quebec Nordiques. And the Rangers. I don't expect it to stay like that for very long, but we'll take glory where we can, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and play against Washington. Again, we have injuries, so we're not playing our ideal lineup. Alright, so we're going back to Ken Hammond there. Alright, so the Capitals are 2-2. Olaf Kolzig in net. Dale Hunter 4 assists in 4 games, and Norm McIver 4 points in 4 games as well. Are we gonna win in Washington now? No. That's a 5-3 loss, so relatively close. Let's see here. So Peter Bondra, 2 goals and an assist. Thomas Jelinek, 2 goals, and Randy Burridge, a goal and an assist. Shots on goal again were being outmatched a lot. It's to be expected until I can make a few moves where I'm going to be getting something decent in return. That it's going to be difficult. We're going to have a lot of games like that. We did out-hit them, but again, it's a byproduct of not having the puck. When you don't have the puck, that's when you can hit, so... Alright, we're going to go ahead and continue. So, Jimmy Baker back soon. Alright, that'd be great. Bergquist ahead of schedule. That'd be great. On the brink of returning. Recovered already. Alright, so they're all close, but they're not quite ready. Now, a yellow crosshair means that they're available to play, although they're hurt, so it's up to Rick Bowness to decide if he's going to sit them still or use them, unless they're back before the next game. So Mike Singer, so yeah, there are quite a few suspensions. Suspension for Mike Singer, suspended for a game. Tim Kerr, another goal. And Hartford lost again. Wow, I think Hartford is still winless. Chris Chelios, 4 assists for Chris Chelios. Steve Larmer, 3 goals and 2 assists. Another great night for him as well. And that was goals in 5 straight. And then we're not going to look at the report. Yeah, Hartford still no points. 500 assists for Owsley in his career, and they won on top of that. Alright, so Jamie Baker almost there. Mark Lamb is ready to come back. Now, can I get him back? Yes. No. So, because I put him on the injured reserve, he needs to be there for 10 days at least, and it hasn't been 10 days, so I need to wait 3 days before I can get him back up. So that means he's not, even though he's not injured anymore, he's not going to be available for the game in Toronto. Eric Desjardins is suspended for 6 games. Yeah, looks like the suspensions are a little through the roof here, so... it's a cool new feature. I kind of like that it's there because it's definitely more realistic, because suspensions are part of the sport of hockey, but there shouldn't be a suspended player every other day. That's just not how that works. Jimmy Baker champing at the bit. Is back to full strength. Alright, that's good. So my injured players, except for Larionov, are all almost back. So Jimmy Baker is totally fine to play against Toronto, and I guess Bergquist is going to be a game time decision. I guess that's how they would like to word that. And he's going to play. Bergquist playing, Baker back on our second line. Alright. So Ken Hammond playing against the Maple Leafs. Again, back in 1992, the Leafs were in the Western Conference, so there wasn't that big of a rivalry with them at the start, because we were not playing them very often. Alright, so the Leafs are 3-3, so a little bit better start than us, and Doug Gilmour has 7 points in 6 games, and Norm McIver has 6 points in 5 games. So Norm McIver's playing pretty good, except for that minus 12. And it's a tie. We'll take it. Definitely. 3-3 tie against the Leafs, so we get a point. So we have 22 points left to go if we want to beat the 24 points the Sens got in 1992-1993. All right. Let's take a look. So Sylvain Lefebvre, a goal and no assist. Ken Hammond had an assist, and Doug Gilmour a goal and 2 assists. So we took the lead 3-0, and then they came back. So Rob Murphy with another goal. Peluso, Jodial. Yep. Dave McElwain back from suspension. That's good for them, I guess. Tim Kerr scored in 7 straight, but they lost again. So Tim Kerr is like scoring every game, and Hartford is losing every game. So maybe you should try to not score a goal in one game, and then see if his team wins. Then he knows what to do for the rest of the season. Scott Stevens with a good game. Oh, Scott Stevens with a hat trick there. Mark Recchi, goal streak of 5. And Bergquist is back as well, fully healed. Alright, so we have players coming back. So, Nick's. So I just have to advance a day, and I can recall Mark Lamb, or not recall, but take him off the injured reserve. So to make room for him, I believe I am going to send down. Yeah, I don't really want to send down Rob Murphy. He's on fire. He's a goal-a-game guy. I think I'm going to send down Neil Brady. Well, maybe not. I'm going to send down Blair Etchingham. He's not really playing. Well, he's playing, but he's not doing anything. So go get better in the minors, buddy. No, then we're going to get Mark Lamb. Alright, so Larionov still out for a couple weeks, and Lazaro's already closed. So we're playing at home against Hartford, who still haven't won a game, I think. Still 0 points for Hartford, and even if they beat us, we're still going to be on top of them. Oh, there's a player on waivers here, Scott Bustad. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to claim him. Oh, and 7 for Hartford. That's horrible. Sean Burke still no wins, and Pat Verbeek has only 2 points in 7 games. They're probably really angry. They're probably going to take it out on us. So let's see if we can sustain that. Nope. We got shut out. So we got shut out for the first time of the year. Looks like Loney Loach got hurt. Gonna have to take a look at that. So the shots are looking better, but obviously we couldn't score. So Sean Burke 27 saves for a shutout. Murray Craven 2 goals and an assist, and Zari Zalewski 2 assists. And Tim Kerr scored again, and this time his team won. Alright, so Loney Loach, he's listed as day-to-day, but he cannot play. So those, you never know, it can take 2 weeks, it can take just a few days. So I'm just going to keep him on the roster, and the computer can decide what he wants to do with him. Ooh, Calgary loses Gary Roberts with an injury for 3 months. Torn hip labrum. That's a tough blow. Gary Roberts, 26 years old, right in his prime. Really good power forward type of player. So that's going to suck for Calgary. They also have Mike Vernon, their goaltender, that's hurt. They might need to make some trades or something. Gary Suter, 4 assists. And Mark Recchi scored in 6 straight. Mark Messier has assists in 8 straight games. And Jeff Lazaro is ready to come back, so I will go ahead and send Darcy Lowen back down. And I'm going to get Jeff Lazaro back up. Alright, now let's see. Doug Smale's not doing much of anything. The veteran, I'm counting on him to show the young guys what to do, but he's not doing much of anything. Alright, next game. Petri Skriko is on waivers. I'm not going to get him. And of course, Darcy Lowen, we're sending him down. He has to go through waivers as well. I doubt that he's going to get claims. Or playing the Rangers are struggling, and they have a decent team. So they're 2-6 to start. Again, they're probably going to take it out on us. Alright, let's go. Yeah. Nothing like playing the 1992-1993 Ottawa Senators to put your team back on track. Yeah, see, another 50 shots against game. That's going to kill us. We're not going to win very often, and they only took basically 2 penalties all game, so I don't think we ever were in this game. No, we weren't. So Zubov, a goal and 3 assists. Kovalev, 2 goals and an assist. Mark Messier, a goal and 2 assists. And Rob Murphy continues to score for us. So I might have to keep him up. I guess he got angry that I didn't start the season with him, and now he's showing me who's the boss. I'm still the boss, but he likes to think that he is. So 9 games straight with at least 1 assist for Mark Messier, and he did that against us. And I have more injuries. Dave Archibald. Okay, so Archibald is going to be injured for 1 to 2 weeks. So I am going to send him to the injury list. And I am going to recall somebody. So we're getting a lot of injuries. That's not always the case, but we've been having to juggle there. I guess I'm going to try Andrew McBain, maybe. He's having a decent year in the minors so far. He has 8 points. Let's see if that translates in the NHL, or if he even plays, for that matter. Alright. Oh, next game is against Pittsburgh. That's going to be tough. Alright, Pittsburgh, memorable night for Jaromir Jagr. 3 more goals into assists. He's gonna finish first for goals at this rate. How many? That's 16 goals so far for Jaromir Jagr, and we're not even through October yet. Wow. And he's probably going to score a couple against us. Goal streak to 5 games. Strong game for Fyodorov in Detroit, 4 assists. Dave Alette is back. I'm not looking at that. Okay, Igor Larionov starting slowly to come back. We need you, buddy. Come back to us. Alright. You can have number 20. There you go. I didn't even play a game. What happened to you? Oh boy. This is getting out of control. He's having a good start to the season. 7 points in 8 games. That's not too shabby. Broken nose. All right, I'm sending you in the on the injured. Wow. Oops. Alright, who are we recalling? We only have 3 centers left in here. So, Similaro has 4 points in 8 games. Marc Fortier, 5 points in 8 games. And 3 or 4 points. So, I guess trying Marc Fortier. Wow, his stats are really not that great. Alright. You're scoring points in the minors, so... So welcome with the big club. Oh, so Mark Messier did not get an assist in his last game, so his streak is over. Hatcher hurt while helping friend move. Kevin Hatcher was trying to be nice, and now he has back stiffness and he's out for 2 weeks. That's why you always tell your friends that you are not available to move. You have a broken arm. Something. You have malaria. I don't know. Make something up. Bubonic plague is back. Alright. Now, Marc Fortier wants... yeah, you're not stealing the number from a vet like Doug Smale. I don't care that Doug Smale is not scoring. Here, I have number 49. Yeah, I'm sure you're a bit upset. Okay, so next game is against Pittsburgh. I am going to predict that Pittsburgh scores at least 10 against us. So they're that good. So let's see. And we have so many injuries. At least not on to our D, which, well, the way our D is playing, I'm not sure that's a good thing. But oh boy. All right. So Pittsburgh is 6-1-2. We're 1-6-1. 7-2. They didn't score 10. So. Maybe they went easy on us, felt bad for us or something. Alright, Lemieux 2 goals and assists, Francis 3 assists, and Jagger a goal and an assist. So Jagger has another goal for his goal streak to continue. Yeah, they score 4 times in the first. Surgeon score on the power play. Brad Miller scored his first goal of the season. Yeah, we already know that. Marc Fortier improves at right wing. So I guess he played right wing for that game. A night to remember for Mark Vermette. 3 goals. Hat-trick, that's good. Well, I hope you come back soon, Lonnie. We miss you. He's available to play in the next game, so we'll see what they do. Nick Caprios got suspension for 5 games. And Lonnie Loach is very close to being fully recovered. Ray Bork, 750 assists in his career. Great defenseman. Mike Huff suspended for 7 games, so the number of games just keep going up and up as the season progresses. I don't know if it's a thing. I don't know if it's how it's supposed to be or if it's just really random like that. All I know is that there's way too many suspensions that needs to be toned down. Hopefully they're going to tone that down in a patch. Psychic day-to-day injury. Jagger scored again. A goal and an assist. Jeff Brown 4 assists. That's a good night. So Jeff Brown is Logan Brown's father. If you're a Sens fan watching this, Logan Brown is playing right now in Belleville. He was a first-round draft pick for the Suns a few years ago, and Jeff Brown is his dad. And Loney Loach is ready to play against Buffalo. So the month of October is almost over, so I'm going to finish the month of October, and then I'm going to call it a video after that. That's been going on for quite a while already. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if we can manage to beat Dominic Hasek. I'm guessing Hasek's playing. Yeah, Hasek playing in the first game of the back-to-back. Oh, Buffalo still hasn't lost this year. Oh boy, that's a little scary. And we lost 6-3. Bill Holder with a goal and 3 assists. Delaware Chuck with a goal and an assist. And Randy Wood with a goal. Are the 3 stars shots? Yeah, we're still allowing a lot of shots, but we did get quite a bit of our own. So who scored for us? Jody L, Norm McIver, and Brad Shaw. Oh, and looks like Dave Andreychuk did something against us to get suspended, so he's going to miss tomorrow's game against us. So, suspended a game for Dave Andreychuk. Right, next game against the same Sabres, but at home this time. Now, Dale Hunter is suspended. 7 games. Scott Stevens is hurt for about 10 days. Alright, are we going to be able to win the last game of the month against the Buffalo in a second of a back-to-back? At least we know they're not. Dave Andreychuk can't play, and now they're playing their backup, Darren Pupa. So, well, let's see if we can win. Nope. So we're 1-9-1 to finish the month. Lost that one 4-1. Jamie Baker being our only goal scorer. So Pat LaFontaine, 2 goals and an assist. McGillney, 2 assists. And Randy Wood, a goal and an assist. Oh, yeah. So we're back to our bad habits there. 50 shots against 17. So we're going to need to see what can be done about that. Alright, Andreychuk is back from his suspension. Gonna advance that to the next day. So Jeremy Roenick has scored in 5 straight games. You don't see that often in the NHL anymore, streaks like that, because there's so... like, offense is way down compared to the 90s, but that was pretty common. So I think they've got that. I think statistically speaking, I think that out of the park development do a really good job to get the stats right. Obviously, I really think that the suspensions are too high. I want them in there, but they should be toned down. Trent Klatt lit the lamp all game, 3 goals. There was no stopping Chris Lindbergh with 3 goals and an assist. Great game for him. Zardy Zalapski with a game to remember. So Hartford, they won their first game of the year against us, and looks like they've won all of their games since. They're 4-7 now. So 3 goals. So hat-trick for Zardy Zalapski. Mark Messier has points in 12 straight games. So we're not really going to look at that. Especially since... So they're looking at, alpha star players. So I don't really care for that. I already have plenty of those. I don't need any more. Dave Archibald ready for team practice. Okay. We're going to... call you back up whenever you're ready. Development report. So, excuse me. on top of the the training camp practice and everything, where you get more points after each month. You're depending on different factors. Your players will either get better or worse. I'm not seeing anybody getting worse at anything right now, so everybody's at least a plus in something. So like Yashin, we want for a guy like Yashin and Travers to get a lot of stat boost so that they can reach their potential. So I'm not sure that I want Yashin to necessarily get better at shot blocking. I would rather that he gets better at passing and things like that, but we'll take any bonus we can get. Alright, Jaromir Jagr nabs the monthly award for Pittsburgh, and Rick Tabarachi for the Jets was the best goaltender. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at who's good and who's not as good for us. Alright, so point-wise for us, we have Norm McIver that's at the top, so he's almost a point per game. That's definitely decent. It was very common back in the 90s to have players be more than a point per game. There were a lot more 100-point players than we see now. So, considering we're an expansion team and everything, that's pretty decent, but that minus 18 there looks horrible. I'm not somebody that really believes in plus minuses all that much. I don't think it's a very useful stat, but that means he's on the ice a lot when we get scored on. So, and you usually want to look at outliers. When you look at plus minuses, even today, you want to look at outliers. So if you have one guy that's a minus 18 and everybody else is close to 0, that might tell you something, but everybody's in the minuses, so that just means that he's one of our best players and he's playing a lot, and we're not that great, so. Alright, and then another outlier here is Chris Luongo, who played 11 games, so he played all the games at no point, so he's not really helping offensively there. Best goal scorer is the guy we called up at the start of the year due to injury, and he's gonna force Mayan to keep him there. And then let's go ahead and see in the NHL who are the leaders. So as we know, Jaromir Jagr is steering the league right now. He has 18 goals for the month of October, and Lemieux has 18 assists. Probably mostly all of them are on Jagr goals. And Jagr has 27 points. So yeah, I'm not looking to see if we have any of our guys in there, because we don't. So yeah, if you look at the point leaders, they pretty much all make sense. But we have a couple like Zdeno Seger maybe might be a little bit of a surprise. He wasn't a completely horrible player, but he wasn't a superstar. So is it going to last or not? I don't know. But Jagr makes sense at the top. Lemieux, Roenick, Messier, Gilmore, Oates, Gretzky. Maybe Gretzky's having, if anything, a little bit of a slow start to his season. Only 20 points in 12 games. But a lot of those players make sense for them to be in the top 12. So, like I said, it's mostly going to make sense statistically speaking. I think they do a really good job of showing that out. Right, so next game is going to be our Western Canadian trip. We're going to be playing in Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to go ahead and call this a video. I'm going to go ahead and save that so that our progress is saved. And as usual, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time whenever I roll this game again. See you guys.